Good morning. I'll get right into it, but last Tuesday I wanted to share my faith. So I kind of talked about my struggles and how to overcome them. I wasn't quite sure how to continue to share my faith and what to say. So, how I got into wanting to share my faith is, a guy named Ray Comfort. He wrote 90 books about all kinds of stuff, but some of them are how to share your faith. And my mom suggested that a way that I could talk about Jesus, not stress too much about it, is maybe read some of the book that we've been studying together. So it's called The Way of the Master, and it's by Ray Comfort and forward by Kirk Cameron. So I'm going to read the introduction to it. There's a couple books that I'm going to read, two specifically, but to start out with, I'm going to read The Way of the Master. So I'll introduce it. The Way of the Master gives light to an almost forgotten biblical key that has the power to unlock the door of the human heart. This is the proven and effective way of making the gospel make sense to the unsaved. It is so rooted in the scriptures, once you see it, you will forever wonder how you could have missed it. It is the biblical principle of bypassing the intellect and speaking directly to the conscience, the way Jesus did. So, I'm going to read, every day I'm going to try to read a couple pages of each chapter. So some of the chapters are really long, so I'll just read a couple pages. But today I was just going to introduce Kirk Cameron's story. So he basically is, they're kind of partnered together, Ray Comfort and Kirk Cameron. They talk together, they preach together. So I'll introduce him and his story. When I became a Christian at the age of 18, I was a successful young actor who had attended riches and fame. But a faithful pastor helped me to realize that my wealth and Hollywood charm wouldn't help me on Judgment Day. I learned that because God is holy and just, he cannot be bribed. Despite the fact that I was admired by my fans and considered myself to be a good person, I came to understand that I had grievously sinned against God and needed his forgiveness. I learned about God's love and mercy shown through Jesus' death on the cross, and it overwhelmed me. I wholeheartedly turned away from my sin, trusted God to forgive me, and asked him to make me the man he wanted me to be. Someone gave me a Bible which I began to read, and I fell in love with the one who first loved me and gave his own life for me. I can honestly say that nothing in all my life compares with the joy of knowing Jesus Christ as Savior and Lord. But after learning the principles of biblical evangelism, the principles contained in this book, I fell to my knees with a deeper sense of brokenness and gratitude for the cross than ever before. I now understand why the Apostle Paul felt indebted to all men and compelled to preach the gospel to every creature. Because I know God's will for my life and better understand God's call to every believer, I can too say, woe is me if I do not preach the gospel. 1 Corinthians 9:16. These foundation-shaking principles have opened my eyes to the destiny of unsaved, taught me how to share my faith effectively, and shattered my lukewarm concern for my unsaved family members and friends. Who do you know who isn't saved? Your mother or father, a sibling, a good friend, your spouse, your child? Think of the terrible fate if they die without Christ. I'm sure you want to share your faith, but perhaps you're afraid. Or maybe you don't feel equipped. This book will help you overcome your fears and give you the tools you need. With Ray Comfort's powerful and biblically sound text, together with my commentaries and real-life stories of sharing my faith, I know this publication will be a great blessing to you. My prayer is that God would do within you what he did within me. May you too be given a fresh and deeper understanding of the true gospel, and may it ignite a fire in you to compassionately share your faith with those you know and love. Please don't let anything distract you as you read The Way of the Master. May God richly bless you. Kirk Cameron's. So his story is pretty amazing, and I know everyone has a great story, and it can be hard to share, but so basically every day I'm going to try to read a couple pages of chapter 1. Tomorrow I'm going to read chapter 1, a couple pages. So thank you for listening. Sorry that I'm everywhere, but God bless you. Goodbye.